Hi, I'm Tangles. This is my garage and this is my car. Front bar and the intercooler that was here. The intercooler was in here crooked. I started blowing off this cooler pipe, a QR, and it sort of ended my night. I couldn't get it to stay on there again. So I tried to adjust the front bar and intercooler mounting to because there's mechanical loading running through those pipes as it was, which is less than ideal. It's now not a problem. Once again, I haven't shown you why yet, or if I have, then I'm going to sound a bit like an idiot. If I have shown you, then you'll know. If I haven't shown you, then you won't. But anyway, so the way it was mounted to the front bar of Rio had a lot of load on it, and the way the car sat with the actual front bar, I wasn't really happy with it. So I ended up having to repair the bar. So I just got some fiberglass resin and catalyst from Bunnings, of all places. Looks like we've got another split here, which I didn't actually know was there, but that's okay, because here's one I prepared earlier. This has been repaired and put back on the car for a little while. And this is the bottom side. Now, because the underside of the car, I didn't really bother too much with painting very hard. You can see the split here, so this is the first time seeing it. But you can see the bar has been impacted quite a lot. Lots of scraping. This may not be due to previous owners. That may be due to me. But all the scraping here is from the car being far too low to begin with. You can see the bar has been hacked up a bit, the back, but it still works. So I'm keeping it. And it's the same colour as the car, so that's a pretty big thing. These mounts, obviously this one's cracked. These here are a bit messed up. This is all, once again, this is all due to the same reason. Now this here, hopefully I'll show you some photos. This is, you know, my glass work to repair this bar, where it kept falling off effectively. All the mounts were ripped out. Hopefully there's a photo there. Same here, these holes here were these types of slots, which I filled and then re-drilled new mounting holes for the bar itself and for the intercooler, whereas previously the intercooler was mounted and then the bar was jammed over the top, and this height difference here, which I've got most of it out of it, but you can still see it, is due to the bar being forced over the head of a bolt here, so the whole bar didn't sit right. We've got a split here, which is not a drama. This one here, unfortunately, I did the same as the other side, and then I replaced the factory plastic grommets, which go up into the bodywork, into which you then put a screw on the underside of here, so the grommet sits on the top side in the bodywork, and then you screw up into it. I replaced them and it didn't work. So the first time I drove it, the one on this side popped out, the bar caught the tyre first time I turned a corner, and it cracked my brand new fiberglassy job. So unfortunately that didn't last very long. You can see this is all smushed in here. You're probably painting a picture as to why the car's in the current state based on this. This I'll have to bust out the fiberglass for as well and see what I can do, because I do want to keep the bar. The bar looks decent, and like I said, it's the same colour as the car, and I don't want to have to go painting it or buy another bar and paint it. The other thing is, I do know is I can fit a 600 by 300 intercooler, 3-inch intercooler behind this bar, so that's another thing. Alright, so that is where the car is at. It did come with this when I bought it, which is a fairly manky old fan shroud, but it's pretty important to get them on the car. Cooling is pretty good in the car, surprisingly, without a shroud, but it could always be better. The factory wing has come with it. Oh, something else which I just noticed over here. Here's our antenna out of the car. So this is the a fan for the air conditioning. As you can see, it's got a broken mount on it there. You can see here, these have been cut and this plug's been removed. That's actually not hooked up to anything in the car at all. These have been cut and they plug into something else now. It's been rewired to effectively be a thermo fan. So it's sat over here. It's for the air conditioning. In here, this wiring is the switch, and I think it's that one there is where you adjust what temperature it comes on at. Yeah, so basically it was modified to make it a thermo fan, which is actually a decent idea, without removing the clutch fan that's in here. To add extra cooling, I don't think that's the worst idea for when the car's static or stationary. The guy who drove it did just have it as a road car, didn't do much or any track at all. Here's that centerpiece I spoke about before, the temp gauge. It doesn't work. Yeah, so that's about it. So I've gone through the videos I recorded yesterday and I've noticed I forgot a lot of stuff and I got a lot of stuff wrong. So we've got this, when I said yesterday, this is Freddy. For those who don't know, it's effectively a Chinese copy of a G-Ready forward-facing plenum. I did not mention the fuel pressure regulator, which I'm not sure of the branding of. There is something odd down here. It seems the stock fuel pressure reg is also attached further down the line. I'm yet to figure out why. Biggest mistake I made yesterday. The turbo is a GT3076 with a 0.86 housing, not a 35 GT35. That's a much bigger turbo. We've got a 50mm external wastegate here, which I didn't point out yesterday. It is plumbed back in to the exhaust, which is a 3-inch turbo back. There is a cat in there, and there is the cannon, the exhaust at the back. So that's all there. It is all sitting on a 6-boost carbon steel high mount manifold with some very half-assed heat shielding wrapped on it there, and it's running a Z32 air fuel meter. What else have we got here? So this here, when I just said that yesterday, this is a boost T for anyone who doesn't know. And the radiator, this is not a standard radiator, it's an aftermarket radiator. It's been upgraded from factory. You know, once again, all done before I bought the car. The intercooler, which is over there, is 300 by 600 by 76. Yesterday I said I called these a G-Tech. They're obviously GK Tech spacers. You may have noticed the blow-off valve down here, turbo smart blow-off valve. When I was talking about the rear toe from changing the high cast, it was 16mm shorter, the high cast lockout bar. So and I did adjust it myself before getting the wheel alignment just to make it manageable, and it was the clutch is a copper mix, and the diff has been shimmed. It's very, very tight, which is good for, you know, drifting, because that's what I bought it for, not just drifting, track days and other things, but yeah, it does the job. That's everything I think I messed up. If I think of something else, then I'll add it later.